Yo, this is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest, and nothing but being brutally honest, coming at you with another video. So, Josh Norman's expected to start, from what I'm hearing. So, what does it make for Josh Norman? What's his strength? His strength. You can't play man-to-man coverage because he'll get burned. They tried that at Washington. That didn't work out. So, play him at zone. That's pretty much his forte. That's his strength. That's the way he makes the plays and takes advantage of. So if you're gonna start Josh Norman, you have to play zone coverage or play in some strength of his position, because if you put him at man to man, it's just not gonna look good. So I get that signing him was pretty much kind of like head scratching, because you're thinking, well, this guy isn't the same. If we were talking a couple years ago or so, then it would have been different, but we're talking a few years ago. The guy's not the same. He's lost a step. Ever since he signed with Washington, he's just never quite been the same player. And it's probably because of the fact they put him at man coverage, and that's not usually something that he's good at. So the moment that you try to put him somewhere where he doesn't really excel at, that's where he fails. So signing him before the regular season, it was kind of head scratching. Okay, we signed him. Interesting. For what? For depth wise, but now that we're pretty much thin at corner, that's going to be the question mark. So what we can do to actually beat the Eagles is just, when you play Josh Norman, you got to play the zone. You got to play where he excels. This is just like getting another Richard Sherman, but older. But this guy only plays well in zone, so that's where we need to excel. But the only problem is the Eagles have some speedy receivers. So that might be a tough matchup. So I think if we had to do it in any other way, we have to cover those wide receivers. And I don't know if zone coverage will really do a lot of helping, but hopefully it makes a difference when we have our pass rushers. And that's the way I look at it. Because Josh Norman, he's a savvy veteran. He's a Pro Bowler. He's been really good for the Carolina Panthers, but the moment he went to the Washington football team, his career just kind of fallen off. And then when he went to Buffalo, he was just more than just a part-time player who got to start, who got some start. I think he started 9 games last year and did okay. He did really decent, but okay in some ways. So you sign a guy who's at the end of his career. You sign this guy to pretty much be the guy that would have to step in. So are you going to count on Josh Norman to fill in for Jason Verrett? That's the only question mark. We have to see how he does against the Eagles. But the only thing is, are we going to stick with man-to-man, or are we going to stick with zone? More than likely, we have to play zone, or forget about it. This game's over. That's the way I look at it. So Josh Norman can get feisty. Josh Norman can cause some penalties. So that's the only concern about Josh Norman, is he can be feisty, he can be physical, but he can cause us some games right there. So I'm just hoping that this guy with veteran experience and plays the game smart, I'm just hoping he's disciplined enough to get the job done. So I'm pretty sure signing him was pretty much a bonus, because he's a veteran and he's been around for a while. So he adds leadership. But can you really count on this guy who's just not the same player? We shall see. He doesn't seem to really fit the man-to-man coverage, so you got to put him at zone, the way I look at it. So what do you guys think? You think I'm kind of thinking out of my head or what, man? So let me know. CG Ruthless Sports is out, and you already know. Go Niners.